I used a blanket. I'd get in the backseat of a car or something, and I put a blanket over me, and...
At the end of the show, I kill him,
Oh.
and we both die.
Got on a silver plane and flew away, chased all my rainbows to the end.
The star of the hit series The Partridge Family died Tuesday at the age of 67. His family was there with them, saying he passed away, quote, with joy in his heart.
7 years after David Cassidy's passing, a DNA test has revealed unexpected truths about his children, captivating public interest. This surprising development sheds new light on a family story thought to be settled. Join us as we explore the intricate details of this posthumous discovery, unraveling the complexities of fame, family, and the lasting legacy of a beloved icon.
I understand that you recently have announced that you have been diagnosed with dementia.
I have. David Bruce Cassidy was born on April 12, 1950, in New York City. He grew up in a family deeply rooted in show business. Born into a family deeply entrenched in showbiz, David's childhood was a whirlwind of lights, cameras, and action. His father, Jack Cassidy, was a well-known actor, and his mother, Evelyn Ward, was an actress. With a dad like Jack Cassidy, a famous actor himself, and a mom in the biz too, it's no wonder David caught the acting bug early on. From an early age, David was exposed to the entertainment industry and showed a natural talent for performing. As his parents were frequently touring on the road, he spent his early years being raised by his maternal grandparents in a middle-class neighborhood in West Orange. In 1956, he found out from neighbors' children that his parents had been divorced for over 2 years and had not told him. At the tender age of 5, he headed westward with his mom to sunny California. There, amidst the palm trees and ocean breeze of Los Angeles, David's journey truly began. That same year, Cassidy's father married singer and actress Shirley Jones. They had 3 children, David's half-brothers, Sean, Patrick, and Ryan. School days were a mix of textbooks and auditions, as David balanced his education with his budding passion for performing. By the time he hit his teens, he was already making waves in Hollywood, landing small roles on TV and in commercials. In 1968, after completing one final session of summer school to obtain the credits necessary to get a high school diploma, David moved into the rental home of Jack Cassidy and Shirley Jones in Irvington, New York, where his half-brothers also lived. David remained there, seeking fame as an actor and musician, while simultaneously working half-days in the mailroom of a textile firm. He moved out when his career began to flourish. Then David's father knew he needed a manager for his son. In 1970, after David signed with Universal Studios, Jack introduced him to former table tennis champion and close friend Ruth Aarons, who later found her niche as a talent manager. Given her theater background, Aarons had represented Jack and Shirley Jones for several years, and later represented Cassidy's half-brother Sean. Aarons became an authority figure and close friend to Cassidy, and was the driving force behind his on-screen success. After Cassidy made small wages from Screen Gems for his work on The Partridge Family during Season 1 in 1970, David shot to superstardom as Keith Partridge, stealing hearts and topping the charts. Teenage fame. But every heartthrob has a backstory, right? And David's is as fascinating as they come. As time went on, Aarons discovered that he had been underage when he signed his contract. She then renegotiated the contract with far superior provisions and a rare 4-year term. But behind the scenes, life wasn't all glitz and glamour. Like any kid, David faced his fair share of ups and downs, navigating the challenges of adolescence while chasing his dreams under the watchful eye of Tinseltown. So before he became the heartthrob of a generation, David Cassidy was just a boy with a dream, carving out his path in the City of Angels one audition at a time. Price of fame. As a teenager, David Cassidy's teenage fame was like a whirlwind. Imagine being a regular teenager one day, and the next you're plastered on magazine covers, mobbed by screaming fans, and your songs are topping the charts. It sounds thrilling, right? But along with the excitement came a lot of pressure. He had to juggle school, personal life, and this whole other world of fame. Plus, everyone had this image of him as this perfect teen idol, which must have been tough to live up to. It's like being thrust into adulthood before you're even ready with all the highs and lows that come with it. Cassidy had booked small acting gigs before the first shot to fame playing singer Keith Partridge on ABC's The Partridge Family, a gentle sitcom take on the family band genre. The series, which also starred Cassidy's real-life stepmother Shirley Jones, debuted in 1970 and ran for 4 seasons based on the musical family known as the Cowsills. The Partridge Family, with its colorful antics, was a smash hit, particularly with teenage girls. His cover boy looks, supplemented by a bright smile and stylish clothes, could be found on millions of teen bedroom walls, and the series launched a successful career for Cassidy as a pop singer and actor. Cassidy sang on more than a dozen band and solo albums during his Partridge Family years. Some of their songs, including I Think I Love You and I Woke Up in Love This Morning, became major hits, and he performed in sold-out stadium tours. After his father died in an apartment fire in West Hollywood, California in 1976, and his mother's death in 2012, Cassidy was never entirely comfortable with his squeaky clean image and the fan frenzy over the Partridge Family. He was more attracted to edgier rock fare, and the teenage mold did not fit his aspirations. He once said, "What was tough was the way people my own age would perceive me as this image that was created of this sweet, innocent boy next door, which was the antithesis of the teenage life I had lived." Cassidy's popularity led to some low points, including a 1974 London show where a girl was killed in a crush of fans at the front of the stage. After leaving the Partridge fold, he went on to record more solo albums and star in several Broadway productions, including Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and Blood Brothers. In 1990, he returned to the United States pop charts with the single Lying to Myself. Behind the scenes, David Cassidy's teenage years were marked by the intense pressures of fame, and unfortunately, he struggled with substance abuse during this time. Like many young celebrities thrust into the limelight at such a tender age, he faced the challenges of coping with stress, expectations, and the demands of his career. Substance use often becomes a coping mechanism for dealing with these pressures. For David, fame came at a rapid pace, and the allure of drugs and alcohol likely played a role in his attempts to escape or numb the overwhelming feelings that accompanied his celebrity status. Despite his success, Cassidy expressed bitterness about being pigeonholed as a teen idol, longing for recognition as a serious actor. His personal life was marked by struggles with alcohol, tumultuous relationships, and legal issues. It's a poignant reminder of the darker side of fame and the vulnerabilities that young stars can face in the spotlight. Personal life and hidden truth. David Cassidy's marital life was a roller coaster ride, punctuated by moments of joy and profound challenges. He married 3 times, each relationship reflecting different phases of his life and career. His first marriage to actress Kay Lenz in 1977 was initially filled with promise. They were both rising stars, deeply immersed in their acting careers, which likely contributed to their personal and professional tensions. Their marriage lasted less than 4 years, with the strains of balancing their demanding careers and personal differences eventually leading to their divorce in 1981. Despite their best efforts, the pressures of Hollywood and their respective ambitions proved too great a challenge to overcome. Cassidy's second marriage was to horse breeder Merrill Tanz. They met in 1974 at a horse sale in Lexington, Kentucky, a shared interest that brought them together. Their relationship blossomed into marriage, but the union was also not destined to last. The couple divorced in 1988. During this period, Cassidy had an extramarital affair with fashion model Shelley Williams, resulting in the birth of actress Katie Cassidy in 1986. This affair and its consequences added further complexity to his personal life. After the end of his relationship with Williams, Katie was raised by her mother and stepfather, Richard Benedon. In a candid interview in February 2017, Cassidy reflected on his relationship with Katie, acknowledging, "I've never had a relationship with her. I wasn't her father. I was her biological father, but I didn't raise her. She has a completely different life. I'm proud of her. She's very talented. It's hard for me to even accept how old she is now." On March 30th, 1991, Cassidy found love once more, marrying songwriter Sue Schifrin. This was Cassidy's third marriage and Schifrin's second. They welcomed a son, Bo David Cassidy, who brought additional joy and responsibility to their lives. However, like his previous marriages, this relationship faced significant challenges. Cassidy's struggles with alcoholism became a major issue, leading to multiple DUI arrests and stints in rehabilitation centers. His battle with drinking put a severe strain on their marriage, and in 2015, Sue Schifrin filed for divorce, citing his continued struggles with addiction. Despite the legal separation, Cassidy and Schifrin's relationship endured in many ways. Over the years, they navigated the tumultuous waters of Cassidy's addiction and the accompanying legal and personal issues. Sue stood by him through his numerous challenges, offering support and encouragement. Their bond was tested repeatedly, but it remained resilient. Cassidy's personal demons often overshadowed their life together, yet Sue's commitment to him and their shared experiences created a deep connection that lasted until his passing in 2017. David Cassidy's marital journey was marked by intense love, profound struggles, and a continual search for stability and happiness. His relationships reflected his complex life, a blend of professional success and personal turmoil. Each marriage taught him lessons about love, responsibility, and the impact of fame on personal relationships. His legacy, intertwined with the stories of his wives and children, remains a testament to the challenges and triumphs of a life lived in the spotlight. A shocking revelation. Years after David Cassidy's death, a shocking revelation emerged that surprised the family. After David Cassidy's death, a woman named Shelley Wright came forward claiming to be his love child from a one-night stand more than 30 years ago. Shelley said she always had doubts as to who her real father was because she looked nothing like Nashville songwriter James Bohan, who is Shelley's mother's long-term partner. She said she doesn't look anything like him, and her whole family always talked about it. She also claimed that her stepfather always picks her sister instead of her and had more relationships with her through the years. When she finally confronted her mother, Donna Wallace, she admitted that when she and Bohan briefly separated in 1973, she slept with David Cassidy in a VIP room during a night out in Nashville, which led to pregnancy. When she got pregnant, she went back to Bohan because she already had a child with him, even though she knew David Cassidy was the father all along. Shelley claimed a woman contacted her after Cassidy's death about the bottle, saying she saw it on eBay, of which purchased it along with a certificate stating Cassidy used the bottle during the 2015 concert in New Jersey. The result, according to Shelley, showed a staggering 99.9% probability that Cassidy was indeed her biological father. Shelley's story has been widely reported. She told her story to various publications, including Radar Online and The Star Online. The Radar Online story includes a copy of the paternity test and the certificate about the water bottle. She said seeking the truth about whether Cassidy was her dad had nothing to do with money. She is married to an insurance adjuster, and they live comfortably in Naples. "I never did want anything," she said. "It's never been about finances. She said her husband has a really good job, and she does not want money. She just wants Cassidy to come forward and acknowledge her. But there is a small hope that he does want to have something to do with her and his grandkids. Obviously, it's not about anything but the truth. Truth, that's all I ever wanted. Still, Shelley kept the story a secret for several decades until she began to have children of her own and became desperate for some closure. Personal demons and inner turmoil. David Cassidy's life wasn't all glitz and glamour. He faced his fair share of troubles behind the scenes. He battled with personal demons and inner turmoil, particularly his struggles with alcoholism. Despite his fame and success, he grappled with the pressures of the spotlight, which often exacerbated his issues. The Partridge Family star was given a criminal citation and charged with a hit-and-run after he was involved in a car accident on November 3, 2010. Neither party sustained serious injuries, only minor, and according to police documents, Cassidy fled the scene after he sideswiped a truck on a highway. Authorities eventually found Cassidy at a local hospital and questioned him about his involvement in the car accident. Cassidy was charged with leaving the scene of an accident, expired license plate tags, improper lane change, and driving with a suspended license. In the early hours of August 21, 2013, Cassidy was also arrested for DUI in Shodak, New York. He was pulled over after failing to dim his headlights as he passed a police car going in the opposite direction. After performing poorly on a field sobriety test, Cassidy was subjected to an alcohol breath test, which was above the New York legal limit. On January 10, 2014, Cassidy was arrested on suspicion of DUI in California after he made an illegal right turn against a red light. He was held overnight in jail, ordered to undergo outpatient rehabilitation, and placed on probation for 5 years. His inner turmoil was evident in his public struggles with addiction and the challenges he faced in his personal life. It's a reminder that even those who seem to have it all can be fighting battles we may not see on the surface. Financial adversity. David Cassidy's financial struggles were unfortunately a significant part of his later years. Despite his immense success as a teen idol, he faced challenges managing his finances. Reports emerged of bankruptcy filings and foreclosure proceedings on his properties. David Cassidy wasn't raking in the big bucks like most assumed, considering his epic popularity. He only earned $600 a week from the Partridge Family. From that sum, Cassidy also had to pay his manager and his agents, and he received no advances or royalties from the hit records he sang on. When he left the show, he planned to record and perform the kind of music he enjoyed, hard rock. He was happy to leave the bubblegum music behind him, but before long, the fame that followed him began to dwindle as the 1970s progressed. Cassidy's career began nosediving in the 1980s. He only released 2 albums during that decade, and he mainly stuck to acting roles. By 2015, he had settled in Florida, where he filed for bankruptcy, an amazing turn of events considering he sold over 25 million records during the peak of his career. He had to sell his Fort Lauderdale house, which was a tremendous financial and personal blow, as Cassidy considered the home his refuge. Alcohol and marital problems compounded his economic instability. He sank even lower personally and professionally, and his health began to suffer. Additionally, Cassidy's estate faced turmoil after his death, with his will leaving the majority to his son Beau and excluding his daughter Katie entirely. The estate is now embroiled in legal battles with claims from Florida lawyers. Cassidy's financial challenges were intertwined with substance abuse issues and personal turmoil, reflecting a life of success overshadowed by severe problems. These difficulties were compounded by his health issues and legal troubles, leaving him in a precarious financial situation. A time of struggle. David Cassidy's battle with dementia was a heartbreaking development later in his life. As a beloved teen idol and talented performer, it was difficult for fans to see him face such a devastating illness. He blamed his dire financial situation on bad investments and his inability to go out on tour, which was always his most lucrative option for fast cash, with an average monthly income of $12,500, but expenses that exceeded $27,000. It was clear Cassidy was sinking fast, not just financially but personally. He'd lost his home, his wife, and the last vestiges of his career. On February 20th, 2017, following a performance in Agoura Hills, California, Cassidy had difficulty remembering the lyrics of songs he had been performing for nearly 50 years and appeared to fall off the stage. He announced that he was living with dementia and was retiring from all further performing. He said that his mother and grandfather had also suffered from dementia at the end of their lives, and that I was in denial, but a part of me always knew this was coming. It was a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the indiscriminate nature of disease. Later in 2017, Cassidy fell ill at a recording studio and was hospitalized. In a later phone conversation with a producer, he stated that he had just met with his doctor, that he had liver disease, and that his life had changed dramatically. Cassidy added that he had been unconscious and near death for the first few days after the incident, but that his memory had returned. Cassidy also acknowledged that there was no sign of dementia at this stage of his life, adding that it was complete alcohol poisoning, and the fact is I lied about my drinking. Cassidy said, "You know, I did it to myself, man. I did it to myself to cover up the sadness and the emptiness." Cassidy had told his family and others that he had given up drinking. Despite his fame and success, Cassidy was not immune to the challenges of aging and declining health. On November 18, 2017, Cassidy was hospitalized with liver and kidney failure and was critically ill in a medically induced coma. He came out of the coma 2 days later, remaining in critical but stable condition. Doctors hoped to keep Cassidy stable until a liver became available for transplant, but he died of liver failure on November 21, 2017, at the age of 67. According to his daughter, Katie Cassidy, his final words were, "So much wasted time." His journey with dementia served as a sobering reminder to cherish our memories and appreciate the moments we have with loved ones. A tragic end. It's always tough to hear about someone's death, isn't it? It's a reminder of how fragile life can be and how important it is to cherish the time we have with our loved ones. Whether it's a public figure or someone closer to home, it's never easy to say goodbye. After David Cassidy's death, it was later disclosed that his dementia was a temporary condition caused by alcohol poisoning. Cassidy admitted to lying about his drinking and the connection between his alcoholism and the dementia symptoms he displayed. His tragic final days were marked by a battle with alcoholism, liver disease, and the consequences of his excessive drinking habits. Cassidy's passing was a result of liver failure, shedding light on the complexities of his struggles with substance abuse and the impact it had on his health and well-being. Cassidy's case was also related to neglect by his famous father, actor-singer Jack Cassidy, who also was an alcoholic, according to his son. His legions of still devoted fans were heartbroken over his early and sad demise. In his will, he left his inheritance to his son Beau while excluding his daughter Katie entirely. Cassidy left more assets than expected, considering his propensity for poor money management. Beau received $450,000 from a retirement plan and a life insurance policy worth $1 million. Meanwhile, his daughter Katie, whose relationship with her dad had its ups and downs, apparently had no hard feelings about being excluded from Cassidy's will, as she was by her father's side when he died. As he grew closer to death, Cassidy denied having any money problems, and Beau's inheritance seems to bear this out. "The financial part is not an issue," Cassidy told People. He was more preoccupied with his dwindling mental capacity, which would have resulted from his decades of drinking rather than a genetic condition. After Cassidy passed away, his daughter Katie took to Twitter. She said, Words can't express the solace our families received from all the love and support during this trying time. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. See you in our next video.